Hello everyone, hope you're fine. Welcome to DJStuff videos in DJStuff YouTube channel. Today we are talking about microphone, podcast, recording with the Tascam Porta Capture X8. So it's the new Nomad recorder from Tascam with a giant touch screen here. You can see it's pretty amazing. It's like a smartphone or tablet. It's very easy to use. There is not too much menu, and there is a lot of onboard settings to record your voice or your instruments. We will see in this video. With this Porta Capture X8, you can also make settings and guide directly on the smartphone or tablet. We will see with the Bluetooth adapter. It's an option. It's not inside the box, the old original box, but it's an option you can find and you can buy to control your X8 directly from your smartphone, for example. And it has its own sound card, so you can it's class compliant, so you can link or plug directly on the smartphone if you want, or directly on your computer and make some multi-track recording or some live stream with OBS, for example. We will see at the end of the video. Of course, you can see there is a USB-C cable directly here. It's not very beautiful, but it's for the video. I don't want to use too much the battery inside, so you can also, like you see, use some battery, alkaline battery or lithium battery, what you want. You have a little function inside, allow you to choose if you want the device working on battery or working with the cable. Of course, if you unplug the USB cable, it will jump directly on the battery. You see here, like that. Simply as that. So let's focus on the different connections. First, you have the mic here. So the mic, maybe the first time you will see that it's very difficult to plug and unplug because the jack is very strong. But when you plug everything, it will be very, very, very strong. Everything strong. So you can plug for 120 degrees, like that, for example. You see? Or you can plug for 90 degrees, like that. So you push like that, and after you turn the little, not the little, the big screw. So push a second time and screw. And after, it's very, very strong. The attach is very, very strong. After, on the connection, you will have on the left side 2 combo XLR jack. So you can plug a mic if you want, a mic without phantom power, the 24 or 48 volt, or you can plug, you have a line input. You can choose for line input. You have a line output and input with the jack, the little one, and headphone. And it's pretty cool. We will see on the settings, but the out will be, you can choose if you want a very strong line input, normal line input, maybe plus 4 dB, or if you want a more, not a mic output, but a lower input to plug directly on your DSLR, Canon, Panasonic, with little screw here or with the attach here. After you will have the headphone output with its own volume. On the front you will have little bar here to attach on your neck if you want. The Bluetooth option, little option. The headphone here, not headphone, the speaker, sorry. On the right side you will have USB-C connection to plug on you can power the device, or you can plug directly on your computer. The little SD, it's a micro SD card, the on and off, and the 5/6 channel for combo jack XLR. So you can have up to, if you want an ambience here with the mic here, and you can have a 4-person maybe in a podcast or something like that. So let's plug to have the power here. Yes. And yes. So you have on the screen, it's the main menu. You have on the screen different settings, automatic settings. You have, of course, a manual setting, and each setting has its own parameters, own settings, but it will be the same on manual here. So we will see each settings on the manual part. Let's see first each automatic settings let you start your presentation like you want. For example, ASMR or just voice, etc. So I will record everything on my other recorder, and at the end on the manual part or voice part, I will record one record and edit it directly on the video. So let's put an audio player too to have my voice and a little player. And let's see what it is. So first, let's jump to ASMR. So like you know, on internet, on YouTube, you have ASMR. You see when people are just like that. So let's see how it sounds. So now I am talking like that. So you see, you have more gain control to have your voice like that. You see, you know. So it's ASMR. I don't like ASMR. After voice will be like that. So you have more gain control. So you can speak like that if you want. And if you are jumping like that, you will have this kind of sound on the left side, on the front, on the back, you see. And you see you have this kind of sound if you are front of the mic here. So let's see the next one. It will be the instrument part. So instrument part will allow you to choose your instrument and a reverb, you know. So let's put maybe piano, or you can have acoustic guitar, etc., etc. And you see each settings will move the gain control on each setting. And after you can choose the hole you want, the reverb you want, and maybe this one to have little reverb, like that. Like I said, you have some control, you see, but we will see it's the same in each part, you know. So you can control on each part. We will see on the manual part. Let's see in the field, it's a special FX for the field. So you see for the field you will have this, and like I said, you have different settings directly on it. We will see on the manual part, but for the settings you have directly two kind of settings. You see gain control, low, high, and low pass filter, like that. After podcast. So podcasts allow you to have 4% directly on air with a little pad section like that. And of course, if you put some sound directly on your SD card, you will have some sound directly here, of course. And at the end, you will have, so it was podcast. You will have, I don't know in English. Yeah, you see we call it accorder. Yeah. And the little metronome. And at the end, you can see what you have on your card directly on your computer. So let's see all the settings directly with manual. Like I said, you have those settings directly for ASMR, voice, podcast, etc. So inside, you have 3 modes here. You have the input, you have mixer, and home. Home will be showing you every volume control, every volume, but you can't mute or etc. You see? The input. Each input here has its own gain control, mute, and a lot of parameters directly inside. You will see that You see mic on and off, 1, 2, 3, etc. So when I put some music like that, you will have the music on 3, 4 here. Of course here 5, 6, and the mic here. So you can set all the gain control with your finger here or with the button if you prefer. So if you choose here, button, etc., etc. And with a little mic here, you can access to the parameter. And here you have all parameters like I said for ASMR, podcast, etc. So you can switch to stereo mode or left-right mode. You see, I have left-right. If you see here, left-right. Or you can have stereo for the mic. You can have for the 3, 4, and 5, 6 too. Stereo or not, if you want. It could be cool for the DJs, for example. And after on each channel, you will have auto gain if you want, low pass filter. You see 40 Hz, 80 Hz, 120, 220. Noise gate, little, medium, high. Limiter compressor on each channel, like that. EQ, so you can have an automatic EQ or you see voice, vocal, guitar, loud, or manual, and you have a lot of parameters for the manual. Beautiful EQ for the manual. So you can touch it, move like that, or move like that if you want. And the phase inverter. You have also the gain control here, and input gain, you have an automatic gain here, low or high, but you can also put here, you see, like that. Okay, so every channel has this. After, let's see the parameter. So you have the recording parameter. You can access to wave or MP3. You have the frequency if you want. After the beats, and you have 32 beats. It's the first time on a mobile or nomad recorder. You can see the other parameter, so you can have your pause rec, automatic rec, so you can choose the level of the dB for the record and for the stop. You have the double recording, allow you to have some security on your recording, your pre-rec, etc. The input, you can choose from 24 or 48 for your phantom power, if you need for your microphone, if you need. You have the trim mic, you can output from the speaker here, on and off, if you want. You have the reverb parameter, but you can also, you see, if you choose the correct menu here, you can also choose what you want here. So it's pretty the same thing. Here you will have the camera setting. So for the output here, you can choose if you want camera or line camera. We'll have a low, not a low, but a little output to plug directly on your camera if you want. Over parameter, you can choose the marker if you want. You can choose the SD card reader. It's very important because it will allow you to watch what you have on your SD card if you want to plug your device directly on your computer. But it's very important to know that because it will allow you to make some firmware update. So you have just to push execute. You will have a folder directly on your computer. You put your firmware directly on it. And after you power off and power on with stop and rec. And you will see the update moving with the mark button here. And at the end, Bluetooth. And Bluetooth is very important because it's why I'm taking my smartphone. You can control your unit the X8 directly on your smartphone or tablet. And it's very easy to use because you see I launch the app, I touch connect, and a few seconds you will have your device. You see I am on the music part, but if I take another function, for example voice, I will be on the voice. Of course the menu will not change. You see if I touch like that, there is no movement directly on the device, but if I touch the right function I want, I will have. And what is very cool is that you can have two different screens. You can have, for example, mixer here and input here. So I can change my input if I want, or change my mixer if I want. It's pretty cool to use. And you can also enter in each channel and set what you want, mic, line, etc. So it's pretty cool. And now let's focus on the quality on the mic. So let's choose maybe voice, like recording my voice. Let's put 20 dB. It will be okay. I will take it directly on my front of my mouth, and I will say a little phrase, a little sentence, just allowing you to have a little impression of the quality of the mic directly on the SD card. So let's push rec, and here it is. So the mic section will have this sort of sound. So I don't know what to say, but you will have this sound. If I turn little like that, or if I turn like that, I will have left, right. On the back, I will have sort of sound. And on the front, I will have this sound. So of course, the way to record your voice or an instrument is to focus directly front of the mic like that. And you will have this sound directly from the two mic. So maybe you have a good sound. I don't know. I will see when I will edit this little recording. Let's stop it, and at the end, let's see on the computer, because you have a free app from Tascam, the Tascam Podcast Editor. So you have a onboard sound card with multi-track recording. So let's use on this app. So new project. Here you have to know that, double check if the X8 is here. Okay, input, etc. So everything looks great. You have to know that for the USB channel you will have the master on 1, 2, the channel here for mic 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's put a record and put some sound here and some music, like you see, like that. And you see that you will have the sound of 5, 6. And the master on 1, 2, like I said. So let's stop this. It was for the little presentation for the multi-track recording. Now let's see on OBS. So let's choose a video capture, the GoPro. Okay. After an audio capture, the X8, of course, like that, and voila, it will work like that. Pretty cool. So now you can access to your live stream and go to YouTube or Facebook like you want. So let's talk about my negative and positive feedback. I don't know if you know that I'm using a Zoom H8 for my videos. So the main difference, of course, is this great tactile touchscreen. So it's very, very amazing. It's very cool to work with it. It's very freed, very accurate, and you have a good experience to use with that touchscreen. I have a little touchscreen on my H8, but it's not like that. It's very good experience on the X8. But for example, for the podcast, it's little bad because you have a great touchscreen, but you have only 2 samples for your podcast. I have 4 samples directly on my little screen on my H8, and you have only the mic here and the 3-4 channel here, and the pad will cut your 5-6 channel. So it's a little, I don't know, I would prefer to have, for example, on my H8, if I go to the function podcast, I will have, of course, my pad. I don't know, on the channel, I think 910, for example, but I will have my 6 inputs directly on my podcast, so I can have up to 6 people talking about something, and my sample directly on the podcast section on my H8. It's just amazing. You don't have this one. You have a great touchscreen, but only 2 pad and only 4 channel. So maybe it could be better. You have a little micro SD card on the side. It could be better to have a normal SD card, but it's not so bad. It's not very bad. And at the end, the mic here, you see, you are very scared about breaking the mic when you put the mic. When the mic is plugged, everything is very strong, no problem. But the attach, when you plug it and unplug it, the first time, you don't want to, you have the impression that you can break it. So I didn't know this kind of attach, but the whole thing, the Bluetooth connection, the sound card part, multi-track, the large and beautiful touchscreen, it's a very, very, very cool piece to work, the X8. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to ask under the video in the comment section, and feel free to click on the bell section under the video to be aware of next videos if you like this one. And thank you for watching this one. See you next content. Bye bye everybody.